everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss what is meant by list. For example, a list is a versatile data structure which can use to store a variety of items. For example, if I want to store numbers, strings, and booleans in same data, so you can go for a list. So if you see lists are mutable, so that means what is by mutable means you can add, remove, or change items when you added some element into the list. First of all, we are going to see how to construct the list. List will be always written as square bracket. So whatever the elements you're writing in the square bracket will be considered as the list. For example, here I am forming a new list called data. Inside this, I'm passing a multiple elements like data science, machine learning, Python, HTML, and big data. So once I print it, if I'm checking for the type of this data, I'm checking for the type of the data, it is giving me list because I said no, whenever you're writing something inside the square bracket, which will be considered as the list. Now we're going to how we can slice the data inside the list. For example, I'm having a data which is nothing but a list. I have a collection of items here. Now I want to slice something. So if I want to slice second item, you want to give index of 1. So normally the index will start from 0. The index for the data science will be 0. Machine learning will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So always the index will start with 0 and it will keeps goes on. So now if I want to slice the machine learning, which is a first index, this is the way of slicing a element in the list. Next is if you want to slice in a reverse way, so you can slice in two ways. One is a forward and then backward way, which is commonly called as reverse. If you want to call the element from the reverse way, the index for big data will be -1, HTML it will be -2, Python will be -3. So if I call -2, automatically I'm going to get the HTML. So this is the way of reverse slicing. Next is after defining the list, if you want to check for the length of the list, directly you can say length of data, which is going to give you how many elements you having inside the list. Next, to define the list, next we are going for slicing. So what is the meaning of colon 3 means? Start like there is two things. What is it trying to say from the colon 3 means? First three element in the list. That means 0, 1, 2. I want to slice the first three elements. That means colon 3 will work used to slice the first three elements. If you want to slice last three elements from the list, you want to go from 2 colon. For example, so normally how it will work is, it will work on this basis. The syntax for slicing is, so first you want to pause the list, then start, stop, then step size. So now whatever the index you want to start, whatever the index you want to stop, and how much is the step size. For example, the stop size will always be n minus 1. So if you see here, I'm using a data. Inside the data, I'm just giving start as 1 and stop as 4. So what are the answer I'm getting? I'm getting data science, sorry, machine learning, Python, and HTML. So first index is machine learning, fine. Second index is Python, and third index is HTML. So why it's not printing big data means always the index will run from n minus 1. So whatever start you are mentioning here, it will start from that index, while ending it will always go for n minus 1. That means it will go till third index only. So that's why we are using here, we are not giving any start. That means start from the beginning, stop at the second index. That's why it's starting from the beginning called data science, machine learning. It's stopping at the second index, which is called Python 0, 1, 2, right? So this is the way of slicing the element. If you see here, we are asking to start from 2, but we are not giving any stop index. So what is the second index? Yes, Python is the second index. You're asking to start from Python, but you are not asking to stop anywhere. That's why it started from Python. It's going throughout the end. So this is the way of accessing the element. Now you are not mentioning any start and stop means by default it is going to take all the elements. See here, start is 0th index, end is third index, because it will never ever go till the fourth index. Always it will move from n minus 1. See what is the thing they are giving here? Start from 2, go till 7 with the step size of 2. So what is my second index? 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my index, correct? So it will go from the step size of 2. Are you able to see here? It's moving from 3, 5, and 7. So this is the step size, how many size it want to jump. So this is the way of reversing the element. So you're asking from 7 to 0. So seventh index means which is the seventh index. So this 8 is the seventh index and zeroth index will be 1, correct? So you're giving a step size of -2. That's why it taking everything in a reverse slicing. It's taking from 8 and move to 6, 4 and 2. So this is the way of reverse slicing the list, correct? So next we are going to see how to change the value inside the list. Let's say, sir, I'm having a list. Now I want to add statistics instead of HTML. How can I do? The index of HTML is 3. So data of 3, which is going to, if you call the data of 3, which will come? HTML will come. Instead of HTML, you are going to assign a new value called statistics. When you run this data, automatically in place of HTML, I'm going to get statistics. This is the way to change the item values inside the list. Next, we have certain elements in the list methods like append, insert, extend, sort, delete, clear, remove, pop, and reverse. We're going to see everything one by one in brief. Now, I define two lists. Now, if I give append data 1 dot append data 2, so now I'm appending the data 2 into this data 1 list. What is happening at finally when I'm calling data 1? So this statistics is inserted into the data 1. Are you able to see here? So, sir, already I'm having a list. The second list is also appending as a list. This is called nested list. List inside the list is called nested list. So whenever you're appending a new list, you can able to append one list into the another list, which is called as nested list using append. Next is using insert. So if you want to insert some element at the particular position, particular index, let's say I want to insert the value of statistics at the second index. So 0, 1, 2 will be Python. So I want to insert the value of statistics between machine learning and Python. Are able to see after inserting, well, by using the insert syntax, you want to say what is the index position and what is the value you want to insert. Automatically I able to insert that, right? All of yes or no? Between machine learning and Python, I able to insert statistics at the second index. If you see 0, 1, 2, in second index we have statistics. Now, next thing is we are going to see how to add element without creating a nested list. For example, if I give append, automatically I'm able to get a new list, so which is a nested list. So without doing this, I just want to add a statistics inside my list. So you can use the function called extend. Using this extend, what I can do is I have two lists. One is data 1 and another is data 2. I want to add this artificial intelligence into my data 1. So what can I do here? I can go for data 1 dot extend data 2. Automatically I can append this artificial intelligence without creating any list at the end of the data 1. Are able to see here how to append one values in second list to first list by using the extend. Next is we are going for sort. Sort is used to sort the elements in ascending or descending. By default it will be ascending. For example, I have a salary which is not sorted properly. When I'm using a function called sort, if I call the salary now, automatically able to see here this is sorted in the ascending order, right? All of yes or no? Now, if I want this to sort in a reverse direction, like in descending order, inside sort you want to pass reverse is equal to true. If you want ascending, that is nothing but reverse is equal to false. You can also pass that. If you're not passing any parameters, by default it will be what? By default it will be ascending only. So this is the way of sorting the elements into the list using ascending or descending. Next we are going to see sorting the element based on the length of the keys. So let's say, sir, it's a numerical, I can able to do ascending or descending. Even though if it is categorical, I can do some alphabetical order, ascending or descending. What can I do if is it possible to sort the element based on their length? Yes, we can do that. So same sort, you want inside the sort, you want to pass the parameter of key is equal to length. So based on the length, len means length of this, I'm going to sort. So basically a is just a length of 1 and fox is 3. So automatically it is giving the sorting based on the length of the elements, correct? Now next is how can I delete the element inside the list is using del operation. Let's say if I want to delete Python from the existing list called data, you can pass data of 2, which is second index. I want to delete del. list name and what is the index you need to delete. So I'm passing the index number 2, which is Python. Automatically, when I'm calling data now, Python is getting removed from my data list, correct? So this is the way of deleting the element. Now, if you want to delete the element particularly from one index to another, yeah, you can pass the index range. That means what? 0 colon 1, like from 0 index to first index. So nothing but data science and machine learning will be deleted from the existing list, correct? Are able to see the final output? We are not able to get data science and machine learning in my final output. Next is we are going to clear. So if I want a list, but I want to delete element inside the list, like you know, truncate in SQL. So this is called dot clear. Automatically all the elements inside the list will be cleared. Next thing is we are going for remove. So if I want to remove some particular element from the list, I can use remove. And what are the element you want to remove? Sir, I removed HTML, but why I'm having HTML in my answer is, see, if you see this in the list, you have two HTML. Are you able to see here? We're able to get two HTML. You need to remove only one HTML. Like by default, if you give remove, it will remove the first occurrence of it. It will search for it. Whenever it's finding the HTML at the very first occurrence, it will remove it from the list. This is the importance of remove. Even though you have multiple elements, it will just remove the first occurrence. Next is pop. Pop is by default, it is going to remove the latest lost element. Guess list by default, if you give pop, whatever the element recently added to the list will be popped out. Let's say if I'm adding a new element called, let's say data dot append. I'm just adding a new element called IQ math. Okay. If I pop it, which is getting popped out, the recently added element IQ math is popped out. Are you able to see here? Is yes or no? Always the recently added element will be popped out. That is the use of pop. Like next is we are going to see how can I reverse the complete list. So you can reverse this complete list using dot reverse. Correct? All of yes or no? Using this dot reverse, you can reverse this complete list. So this is the way of reversing the list. Next is common list operators. We are adding, like, let's say I have two lists 1, 2, 3, and B is 2, 3, 4. If I added this, which will leads in concatenation. List operator will not add the elements. What it is doing, it just concatenating the two list, right? Then I'm multiplying A star B. So I enable to multiply, it will not work out. If I give A star 2, which will repeat the list. Are you able to see here, guys? Which will repeat the element inside the list. Correct? Okay, sir. This is fine. This is the list, guys. I hope next we are going to tuple in the next video. So before completing the list, you can solve a problem called baseball challenge problem. This is a very good question. I will share the code. Give me a minute. Python problem. Okay. Yeah. Baseball game. Yeah. This is the, yes, guys. So you can try this problem, guys. All of you. It's a very good problem. You can directly go for a Python 3. Yes. So now you can start solving this problem. Yes, guys. I will pasting this link of the problem. So let me try this problem and we'll end the list. Okay. I'm going to solve this problem. First, I'm going to take a simple example. This is the input and output. Let me say take a simple example. See, the input is 5 to CD plus output want to be 30, right? So how this is giving the output of 30 means, first, whenever you are getting the numbers, you want to add it in the list. Okay. If you get a C, then what you want to do? You want to remove the previous score. What we want to do? Remove the previous score. That means 5 and 2, now 2 will be popped out. You want to remove the latest one. How we can do that? Using pop. Whenever you are getting D, what you want to do? You want to take the element and then you want to multiply it with 2, correct? You want to multiply it with 2 and then you want to append as a new list. Now third one plus, whenever you're getting plus, what you want to do? You want to take the last two element and then you want to add it into the new. So let me solve this problem, guys. Let's say I'm just taking this OPS. This, okay, how can I run this OPS in the loop for I in, oops, okay. So if I print I, so okay, what I'm trying to do is if first thing is first apart from numbers we'll see if I'm getting C, if I equal to C, what I want to do is what I want to do if I is equal to C. Let's say I'm creating a new list. Let's say output list. The list name is output, which is empty now. This is the empty list. Whenever I'm getting a C, what I want to do, I want to remove the previous code. That means output dot pop. Whatever the element added into the output, it want to be removed. So pop. Elif. What is the next condition, guys? If I'm getting if I equal to D, what I want to do? If it is D, then what I want to do? I want to take a last element. That means output of, how can I take a last element in the output? Output of -1. I taken the last element. That means reverse slicing. I am taking the last element from the output. Then I want to, if it is D, then I want to multiply it with 2. Whatever the answer I'm getting, I want to append this answer into the output. Correct? Yes or no? Output dot append whatever the answer you are getting by taking the last element and multiplying it to the 2, you want to add it. So that's why 5 in the second they're getting 5 comma 10, right? How they're getting this? They are taking this 5 and they're multiplying it to 2 and then appending into the same list. That's why we are appending it to the output itself. Next, okay, CDs plus elif. Suppose if they're getting whatever plus, then what they're doing, if it is plus, I want to take a last two elements. How can I take the last two elements? Output of -1 will give me the last element, adding with the output of -2. Last before element is -2, right? In reverse slicing. I want to add it and then I want to append it to the new list. Output dot append. So I append it to the new list. Now finally else, if any other number I'm having, I'm just appending output dot append as integer of I. So whatever the answer I'm getting, because CD plus, apart from CD and plus, you are getting just the numbers. Whatever the number you are getting, just append it to the output as integer. Now finally, I'm just printing the output. So finally, I'm getting 10, 5, 10 and 15. So if you take a sum of this output, sum of the output means whatever the element you have in the sum, you'll get it. So 5, you can also print the output. So that is three elements, 5, 10 and 15. If you add up all the output, you are going to get 30. Are able to understand this, guys, everyone? Output is there. An empty list we created for I in ops. If I is equal to C, then just pop it up. If I is equal to D, then I want to take a last element and then I want to multiply it with 2. And then I am appending it to the same output. If it is plus, then I want to take last two elements. I want to add it and then I want to append it to the same output. Else, whenever there is a number, I'm just using it as an integer and then appending. Finally, whatever the element in the list, I want to take a sum. That's why we're able to achieve 30 here. So this is the way of accessing the elements, a real-time application. I also pasted the problem link. You can directly try with the lead code itself. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching this video. Next we'll see in the tuple.